Okay, I'm back. This is part 2. Sorry about that. I have a 10-minute limit for these video clips. Here's the Balisong I was just showing you in part 1, and it's ready to flip. Straight from the makers, which is not how they usually come. But with the screw pivots, you can flip them right open. This one's needs a little adjustment on the pivot screws, but it's absolutely flippable now. It's very nicely done. As you can see, everything's done very, very evenly. This is a real beauty. Alright, it does have some pits on it. Not so much on the tang end. There is a little bit of pitting right there that I don't think will show up in the video. But again, I'll be taking detailed pictures of all of these, as I always do. Flip it back open. Yep, that one's a really nice knife with a very thick latch and a really well ground blade. It's a pity about the pits. There's not much we could do about that now aside from grinding them out again, and I don't really want to have to take it back for that. So if you do have your own, if you can grind it yourself, that would be great, or you could have a professional do it for you to clean it up, or just leave it as is, because it does add character. These are handmade and they have been exposed to the elements here in Southeast Asia, and pitting is inevitable. Now, another nice thing about this particular Balisong is it's razor sharp. It will shave hair off. I wouldn't recommend shaving with it like before you go to work or whatever, but it's sharp enough to take your hair off, arm hair, wherever else you might have hair, but I wouldn't recommend putting it to your cheeks. Yep, so this is a beauty all around. And yeah, I don't have one with screw pivots myself. I did design these, I pretty much designed them the way I wanted them to turn out, and designed them in terms of knives I'd want to have, because I really am fond of the buffalo horn. The nickel silver is amazing, and I do love the buoys as well. These are probably my two favorite profiles. Well, they are pretty much. I like the bayonet as well, and I like the Chris. But these are probably the two I like most. Okay, that's it for the buffalo horn. 7 minutes left on the clock. Let's make this happen. Let's do the next one. So the next one has European red stag. As far as I know, red stag cannot be imported into the United States in its unfinished form. Yeah, you can import it on a knife, like if it's a German knife or whatever. They do like to use red stag on Linder knives that are made in Germany. A lot of their offerings are made in China now, unfortunately. But the red stag is really nice, and it's used as a substitute for sambar stag from India a lot, which is now illegal to export from India. But the red stag, if you ask me, is beautiful in its own right. Sometimes it does look a lot like sambar stag, but it does have a character all of its own, and the more I handle, the more I see that, and the fonder I am of it. I don't know if I can get any more from the source that I got this from, but I did have quite a few knives made with it, and it really is great stuff. Okay, so this bayonet is 29 centimeters long. It's a classic bending webe at that length. It's got a World War II bayonet grind, but it has a razor sharp swedge, and the main edge is shaving sharp. So this is a real beauty. This one only has one tang pin. I requested two, but this was made by the younger brother of the maker who usually makes Balisongs for me, and I would say he's as good as his brother. He didn't add the extra tang pin, but it doesn't really need it. You're not going to be flipping these closed. There may be a little bit of rattle over time, but you can always dampen that down with leather strips on the insides of the handles. And all of these have stainless housings today. So the stag's beautiful. Again, you have nice thick latches on all of these. Each of the bolsters is single pinned rather than double pinned. He really went the classic way with these. May have been a little bit of miscommunication between the brother brothers, since the one who usually makes Balisongs for me, unfortunately, has had to step away from the Balisong game temporarily, which I'm not very happy about. We are trying to help him out. I did give him some money the last time I was there. I left some money for him, and I gave his brother some money as well. And one of my regulars has very kindly donated quite a substantial amount of money for the makers. So I'm really happy about that, and I'd like to thank them from the bottom of my heart again, because it's really going to make a big difference to the manggagawa, the balisong makers in Batangas. I will only work with the best makers. There is a staggering difference between the regular grade and the grade you see everywhere else. So yep, that's the bayonet. And we have a Chris, again with red stag. Now the interesting thing about this Chris is has even longer bolsters. This is something special. You don't normally see stainless bolsters this long, and I actually really like it. Some people don't. I do have a buyer who wasn't happy about it, but I think it's very attractive, and it's a lot of work to make bolsters that are this long. It takes a little more time to get it just right. And these are concave. Normally stag swells outwards, and a lot of people like that because it fills up your palms. This actually dips inwards, and it actually makes for really good grip because you can kind of get your fingers in there. I don't think the camera can show it very well. Let me see if I can tilt it to better show you the how it dips inward. I think that works a little better. I think you can see that there. So yeah, that's a real beauty as well. I'm not just saying that. These really are excellent balisongs. They really were very well made. There is a little bit of there's a little bit of a darker area here at the end. Getting too close. There you go. This is naturally occurring. The makers don't know if that's going to happen until they grind the bone or a stag, and then yeah, it'll show up after the grinding. So yeah, it's not the. I don't really like the darker areas, but they're very minor, and the stag is very nice. So let me give you the weights as well. The bayonet was 7.1 ounces, and the Chris is 6.9. So these are very heavy as well because of the stainless bolsters, the extra long bolsters. Beautifully made again. It appears that this maker likes to make his balisongs a little heavier than his older brother. He's the youngest of 3 brothers in the family who grind and do the finishing on balisongs. One of the brothers is responsible for making the handles. He makes the handles for all of his brothers, and he's really good at it. I've never seen him better handles from. Well, there is another maker who does his own handles, and he's very, very good. But it's very difficult getting him to make anything at this time. I'll see if I can get him to do something again. And I do have a couple of pieces from him in my own collection, and I will be putting 1 or 2 up for sale. So yep, that's the Chris, which is a real beauty. I have quite a few Chris's of my own. I don't think I have one with stag. No, I don't. I need to get one at some point. It doesn't get much better than that. And then finally, here's a comb with camel bone, Indian camel bone. This material does crack at times, but this comb has perfect camel bone. It didn't crack at all. It does have some darker areas on it, naturally occurring. Again, very minor. And this is really beautiful, pristine, bleached white bone. This one has double pin top bolsters. The bottom bolsters are single pin, and the comb measures in at 23.4 centimeters. The actual comb up here is ground, and each tooth is filed in entirely by hand, well, sawed in and then shaped, and it's very, very difficult to get it just right. But these guys did a bang-up job, as they always do. They really are very, very good craftsmen, and making these is not easy. Every single part is done by hand. It really is a labor of love, and to get it just right. There are only a handful of people who can still do that today. Thanks for looking.